Hey everybody, it's your girl Minnie Fox here at the Minnie Fox Talk Show. We are having some fun today. My special guest is an amazing gentleman. I just, he's here in Vegas now. It took him a long time to come from California and Hollywood and the world travel of things and what have you. And, I knew him back when we were, never mind. But, I am so honored to have Mr. Mark Ridley on my show. And we're going to take a little time to find out exactly who he is. And we're going to talk about some wonderful things. So you might want to get a pen and a piece of paper and jot down some notes. Ladies, don't worry about it. He's already taken. So let's talk about this. Mr. Mark Ridley, hey. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Great?
Yes.
Wonderful.
Absolutely.
So what we do is we talk like we're across the road somewhere, and you throw your voice and you talk really loud, and that's what we're going to do. So make sure they can hear you. Yeah. You hear that bass in that voice, right? Mm-hmm. You know what? Just to give you the homage and the respect that you have had and you desperately have been giving back to people. I want to start there because you've given back. We'll go into your accolades in a moment, but just the way you've given back over your career is so important. And that's where we're going to start. Ladies and gentlemen, Mark, tell me, out of all the things that you have accomplished in your life, not in the professional world, but just you as a person, what would just one of those things be?
That's a very good question. I would say to have created some wonderful children.
Wonderful children.
Yes.
Kids, did you hear what your dad said? He said wonderful children. We'll get Daddy to say that a little louder. Say that a little louder, Dad.
To have created some wonderful children.
Wonderful children. Yes. Tell us about your kids.
Oh my God. Where did I begin? I have a daughter, Nakia. And she's a nurse practitioner.
Okay.
And my other daughter, well, I'm going to take another in Marquez. He is a businessman. In line next to her is Chelsea. Chelsea's also an actress.
Okay.
And then there's Malcolm.
Okay. What does Malcolm do?
Yes.
What does Malcolm do?
Malcolm is a businessman also. He lives here in Las Vegas. And he's a manager of a enterprise.
Right. So, Malcolm is a force to be reckoned with because he has a name that preceded him.
Absolutely.
Before he was born. So he has to make sure that whatever he's doing in life is bigger than life so that others will respect him because he's expected to be that just because of his name, And our kids in this day and time, they kind of pass over the millenniums, they call them, right? they pass over where they could do some pretty wonderful things, but they have to find themselves first.
Have to.
So your kids sound pretty amazing. You got one that followed in your footsteps,
right? And
the others are doing some great things in the industry as well, which is pretty cool.
I'm proud of them all in their various endeavors. I'm supporting them all, and pardon me. Whatever they do, as long as they're happy and content, stay out of trouble, I'm good.
Yes, we want our kids to stay out of
trouble. Oh yeah, sure.
But in the back of our mind, we raise them a certain way, so we know they're going to be okay by God's grace and everything else. Yes, wonderful. So speaking of kids, Mark, when you were about 18 years old,
Lord have mercy.
What were you in the world then? What were you hoping to accomplish? Who were you at that time?
18. I was probably on my way to really making some hard decisions of what I wanted to do with my life.
Okay.
And I was on the way to becoming that. Just recently out of the Navy, and I decided that I wanted to do law enforcement. I wanted to be a lawyer first.
Okay.
And then I decided that I wanted to be involved in law enforcement. So I was creeping toward that at 18.
Okay. Well, you know, we have to give respect where respect is due. And on behalf of the Main Five Stock Show and my family of military, we say thank you for your service. We say thank you for your service in a very special place. You know, I was ROTC.
Hey,
hey, that count. That count.
Hey, that counts.
And my brother was Army, father was Army. We have West Point and the Navy in our world as well. You know, and I celebrate every Veterans Day, the life of who did what and why. And it takes a lot, a very special person to be in that particular industry and be able to support others and still be okay.
Right. And I thank you for your service.
Thank you. Absolutely. You know, yeah, I kind of wiggled my way out of being a National Guard. You know, I wiggled my way out of there, y'all. Y'all don't even know. But I wiggled my way out of there. My friend girl left me sitting there when we went to the recruitment center, you know. But that's another story.
Right.
Obviously, ROTC as far as I got. But thank you for your service. For someone that was 18 years old, that decided to get into the military and accomplished and is still here today, what would you say to someone that's watching you, right in that camera right there? What would you say to them about what is it that they could do or to overcome a particular thing in life like you did?
Well, number one, I think you need to assess where you are and write down your goals. Write down the things that you're passionate about, things that excite you, things you've seen other people do, and then strive toward that. You know, you may switch because of age, you know, from time to time, and you decide to do something different. But if you write it down, especially put a date on it, and see what you've accomplished along the way, that's a great way to start.
Okay. That's some good advice, y'all. I know you're writing things down because I asked you to get a pen and paper, but I actually want you to write this down too. You see this man? Yeah, you know, say, hey, some things just don't crack as an age and things. You know, he only 35. 35, and I know him since I was 18, so that makes me 20, right?
20.
With that being said, I want to take you back a little bit in your history of things you did in television, film, theater, radio, that world of entertainment. And I'd like to talk about the mark that I knew that did the catwalk. Ladies, not just the catwalk, but the catwalk. We talking about Ebony Fashion Fair. Right here. Ebony Fashion Fair, an alumni of how that particular industry was, how amazing it was, and you being right in the center of it all as a man that is how tall?
I think I shrunk, but I'm 6 foot.
You think you shrunk?
I think I shrunk.
Yeah, well, you know, back then 6 foot was the
6 foot.
Yeah, you're pretty tall. Can you tell us about the industry and how you got involved in modeling?
I used to watch Ebony Fashion Fair, all the magazines, the Ebony magazines. I thought that I could do this, and people would tell me, you know, that I had the frame and the possibility that I could do this. So I started just watching how they walked. Mr. Ronaldo White.
Ooh.
You know, God rest his soul. He's gone with the ancestors, I think, last year.
Yeah.
And it really moved me because this man was so influential for me to watch him. And I have to say that I was very fortunate to grace a couple of the same magazines he was in. I was on GQ, not the cover, but in the editorial. And in a magazine, I can't find it. I'm going to find that magazine one day. But I would watch him. I've practiced my Dior's and my turns. And one day I had the opportunity to do a really nice show up in Salt Lake City. And I won it. I was a top male model of that year. And I was floating. I had fun. You know, I actually taught another young man and young lady that went on to be a very big model with the Ford agency in New York. So that was my thing. It started to move out in LA to shows. I wasn't with Ebony, but I did work sometimes with Ebony. But I worked alongside them with another creation, another show. And we would do wonderful shows together all on the road with all the Ebony Fair models. And it was a great time.
And it's interesting that you talk so in detail about it like it happened yesterday. Because that's something you never forget when you have that opportunity to what we call now history.
Yes.
Because there will never be another Ebony Fair fashion magazine show jet the way it was back in those days, you know. And mind you, I was a little too short. But I gotta walk out all the girls, walk them all out. But I was a little too short, but that's okay. But Mark made it.
And I was too tall sometimes.
Really?
For the women.
Okay.
And I would have to, especially in posing, I would have to stand widely.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my particular, my style and my hands, the way my arms are, my veins are kind of large.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have to hold my hands above my head to let the blood drain back. When I would do sleeveless things, so the veins didn't pop too much. And I was like, wow, who knew? But I learned a lot of tricks.
Okay.
You know, it helped me serve me well.
Okay. Well, from the days of modeling, the catwalk, and then all of a sudden Rod Stewart came out with the song, "If you think I'm sexy, come on, baby, let me know." That's one of my favorite songs. Yes. And that became an iconic song for models to walk to.
Absolutely.
You know, still to this day. Right. You know, hello, Rod Stewart, we love you. But with that being said, there was a lot of different things that discipline had to be involved when you were in the industry of TV, film, theater. So tell us, what is something that you remember that was discipline for you that you maybe had a hard time at trying to accomplish, but you finally did it?
I think one of the things was understanding, you know, doing your own makeup was one thing.
Okay.
Because, you know, you didn't have the money all the time.
Yes.
And you need to be ready. So I learned how to apply my makeup just watching how they would put it on me.
Mm-hmm.
And even today, I do that. I have my own makeup. When I go on the road, if I have a shoot or I'm doing a show like yours,
mm-hmm.
I'll, you know, touch my face and learn how to take my shirts on and off.
Yes.
Not mess with my clothes.
Yes.
Being on time, I've always, that's a stickler. You know, you don't want to make the production mad. So being early
mm-hmm.
and being there, being ready, listen to your name.
Yes.
That was important.
And you know, at 35 years old, I decided he didn't need any makeup. I needed you to see him natural. You know, sometimes we do a little powder, like Wolfgang Puck.
Right.
I did a thing with him, and he said, only powder, only powder. Oh my God. Okay. So you didn't need any powder or any touch up, because this is what 35 years old look like, ladies and gentlemen. If you didn't know, now you know. With that being said, the industry has changed so much, from modeling and the runway, and the girls look like they're like stumping, you know. Yeah. And back in the day, it was that smooth sachet.
Rhythm. You
know, you just walked and let the clothes speak for themselves. But now you're like galloping across the stage. It was a little different. How do you reflect on that compared to what you were doing back in the day?
I think it's lost its rhythm. Mm-hmm. It's lost its chicness. And it's very, you know, I don't want to be unkind, but it's kind of cattle type. Mm-hmm. You know, the stoic faces. There's absolutely no smiles anymore. It's just very hard. Mm-hmm. And the emphasis on the clothes, I understand.
Yes.
But I don't see the personality a little bit. It's nice to see a smile here and there, a wink, or, you know, a twinkle in the eye, mm-hmm. a little bit of pizzazz. And I think I would love to see that come back.
Yes.
Love to see that.
Yes. And we had signature moves in our industry. Now the girls, as I mentioned, they just walk. But back then we had signature moves. Like for me, they called me Wonder Woman. Because no one can spin in and out of a jacket and drop it and put it back on the way that I could. So tell me, what was one of your signature or two moves that you did that was yours and no one else could do?
Well, I mean, other people could do it. Like Peter could do it.
Well, not like you.
But that slow Dior.
Okay.
That you didn't even know I was turning.
Yes.
And then drop that jacket.
Yes.
Catch it. Pick it up.
Yes.
Spin. Put it back on.
And I taught him everything that he knows, y'all. You're making notes right now. I taught him everything that he knows.
She did.
No, in reality, I actually learned quite a few things from you, and then I perfected it for me as a woman. So, knowing you as many years that I've had, you have been so much of a mentor for me growing up in that industry, and coming from Ohio to Hollywood and finding the modeling troops and becoming signature models and whatnot. And I'd walk in there and I'd do what I saw Mark do. It was a shoulder shot. And so they say, do them shoulders, Mark.
Oh,
do them shoulders. Look at that. Look at that.
Shoulders.
Oh, yeah. Do them shoulders. Strike the pose. Yeah, that's what we talk. I love you so much. No, I have to have Mark because, he's here on the Minnie Fox Talk Show. So, ladies and gentlemen, he has to hold the what? The Minnie Fox Talk Show. Coffee cups, that's right. We're going to do our toast to you. We have a little sip. Now, Mark, what we normally do is we lean towards the camera here and we put our cups together because this is a actual Kodak moment later. And we say cheers. Hey, y'all, I got Mark Ridley in the house. He fussing with my coffee cups, y'all. Y'all know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? A girl got to brand. Now, with that being said, let's talk about Mark that was like in his 30s. And what were you doing when you transitioned from the modeling world and you started doing some other things that remain kind of in that beauty industry? You might have did a little acting, something. What were you actually doing?
Well, I always kept my hands into print work.
Okay.
Commercials. Some music videos.
Okay.
That was kind of limited.
What'd you do in a music video?
Oh, the first one I did was No Parking on the Dance Floor.
Hey.
Remember that? That was my first music
video
that I did. I did it as in background extra.
Okay.
And I remember down in Hollywood, and it was fun. It was a long day, but it was a great time. I had a great time. Met some wonderful people. Yeah, I did.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So you did a music video or two in there, and you stayed present.
Yes.
I call it stay relevant.
Yes.
Even if you kind of stepped out of what you were known for, you kind of still stayed a little relevant.
Stage plays, the whole nine.
You did some stage plays. What was one of the plays you did? What was one of the plays?
Oh my God.
Well, you remember what you did?
Let's see. One of the first ones was I think it was Don't Help Me, I'm Dying.
Okay. What was the role that you played?
I played the dead man.
Oh. Well, that's easy.
I was live, but I was dead.
Well, fast forwarding into some things into your career, and I want to keep it where what it was you were doing as an artist, because that's what we're talking about tonight. I want to venture, if you will, just a little bit into the movies. When you got into the industry as an actor, and you were in some films and a little bit of television. Tell me about one of the movies that you worked on where you had a lead role. It was a very challenging role, I know, because I saw the movie. But bring us there.
If you're talking about the first one I did, I'm not sure. But my very first role that I did was called Night Train to Terror. Mm-hmm. It was a well-respected writer that he's since passed. Davison, I think it was his name, John Davison.
Rest in peace.
That had written this film. It was my first film.
Okay.
It's an indie film. But I played a character called Prince Flabutu.
Okay.
And The funny thing about this movie was my son, Malcolm, actually,
Malcolm.
when he was younger, he wanted to see the movie. Marquez told him, no, you don't want to see that movie. So I can handle it, Dad. I said, no, you don't see that. But he kept bugging me. I let him see it.
Okay.
And he was crying because I ended up dying in the movie, you know?
Okay.
Yeah, I ended up dying in a very horrible way.
Oh.
So it was really, he was traumatized. But yeah, that was my first film.
Maybe. So with that first film, when you talk about a scene, when actors have to prepare themselves for the unalive is what the word is now, how they call it, the unalive scenes. How did you prepare yourself for that? And then I have a double question on the back end of that. How did you prepare yourself for that?
Well, first I read the script. I took notes from the director, and I came up with a persona that I thought might work for my character.
Okay.
And I just kept working on that, knowing my lines, memorizing them, working them out, trying to build a relationship between my character and the other characters.
Okay.
So that was my main focal point in preparing for the movie. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So how do you feel after such a scene has been filmed and you realize that you played a role where you actually passed away as an actor? How does that make you feel on the back end? How do you cope with what you just did?
Maybe because I was still kind of young. It didn't, I didn't feel any particular way other than I was amazed at the performance, amazed at what happened, amazed at how they did it. Because I actually was electrocuted and burned.
Mm.
So it was kind of gross.
Okay.
So yeah, I was surprised to have it. And that invigorated me to continue. And that's when I really decided that I was going to pursue it more.
Okay.
I had played as an extra in a very famous movie called Dolomite.
Mark, lean up here in the camera. I just want you to laugh really hard.
Dolomite.
We're going to talk about why we laugh in a minute. Okay, go ahead.
I did that. I drove a car in the extra scene. I crashed the car into Painted Canyon. I was 16. And Jamar Martin.
Okay.
He was the director, I believe.
Okay.
And I was worried about it because I crashed his Cadillac and on the side of the mountain. He said, "Oh, no, it looks good. That's good. That's good. We like it."
That was funny.
So it's funny.
So, with you mentioning Dolomite, which is why we were laughing, how did you feel when you got flashbacks when Eddie Murphy did the story of Dolomite?
I did. I mean, I watched that movie with intensity, and it brought back all these memories.
Yes.
It did, and I compared it to the original.
Right.
To see, it was very funny. But I also say that because of what we did in that film, it sets the stage for Eddie Murphy. He saw value, and that's why he wanted to do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I applauded Eddie. Hey, Eddie Murphy. I love you. I love you. I love you. I know you since I was about 19 too. But the thing is that when I finally saw the movie, it brought back so many memories of those days.
Right.
And Jerry Jones,
yes,
who in the movie was who Dolomite went to help produce his film.
Absolutely.
So Jerry Jones, bless him, rest his soul, had an opportunity to be in 3 of his play productions because Jerry Jones was a playwright.
Right.
And Dolomite went to him, well, not Dolomite, but Rudy Ray Moore went to him to be a part of his feng shui of what he was doing at the time. And he got involved and started writing the movie for him. But Jerry Jones was an amazing playwright, an amazing director, and I'm grateful that I had an opportunity to be touched by his work. As a part of my resume, we had a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
We did the Miles Davis story and then some other things.
Wow.
But Dolomite, what was so hilarious about it was that particular part of Rudy Ray Moore's life that Eddie chose to do, I was in that movie.
Wow.
I was one of the girls sitting at the table in that movie.
Wow.
So I was like pretty tickled when Eddie came out with it. So that's ironic that
That's amazing.
you were in there too. You know,
right.
we had so much fun back in those days. You know, and
many of our
loved
raw
ones
and open, and people were very charged up to just go and create
yes,
things, you know.
And many of our loved ones have passed on.
Right.
You know, and we still hold on to the value
Absolutely.
of everything, you know. So that's a loving thing.
Absolutely.
So, you know, Eddie Murphy, kudos to you for Rudy Ray Moore and Jerry Jones and sharing, you know, some of their love stories was what I call it, and all the actors and actresses that performed in those back in that day. What happened? So I want to take a moment really quick because I do two things. I usually do four, but I'm going to do two in this particular segment for Mr. Ridley. You know, I'm going to have you to take another sip of your coffee cup. We already got you going on that. So wet your whistle just a little bit.
My whistle right here because
wet your whistle.
I'm at the Mindy Fox show. So.
Yay! So I need you to tell us, what is one of your favorite songs, something you hum around the house that your wife goes, son, honey, stop singing.
Oh, my God. Probably the Stylistics.
Okay, let's hear it.
Wonder.
Let's hear it, Stylist.
Oh,
Stevie
my
Wonder.
God.
Yeah, take a pic. That's why you wet your whistle. Come on, break it out.
You are kind of a girl that I like to take to meet my family. You are kind of a girl that I'd be proud for all the world to see. Okay, that's it. That's it.
That was Stylistics.
I think that's Stylistics.
Okay, but you mentioned the other one. Stevie. What's the Stevie?
Oh God. Stevie. So many. Oh, you got me on the hook here, so now I can't think of any. My brain. Give me one.
Really?
Yeah, give me one.
Happy birthday to you.
There you go.
Happy birthday to you. No, but Stevie has done some amazing songs.
God, so many.
And right here in Viva Las Vegas, yes. I had a blessing to see one of his concerts. And when he sang Imaginary People, when he did the remake of the Beatles, there was not a dry eye in the audience. And I swear to you, there was that hall, there had to be about 4,000 people. There was no empty seats. And he had everybody to take their lights on their phone. And so you just saw these lights all over the theater. And he was on stage and he was crying. And they had the cameras right up in his face.
Oh, I wish I'd been there.
And Stevie was so overwhelmed by what he's saying, because him being born blind and technology has got to where he could see, he chose not to.
Right.
He didn't want to see the world the way he hears that it is, he said. And he was just screaming, just crying. And everybody in the audience, including me, we were all crying. And just the way that he sung that song. And at some point, his background singers took over because he was so choked up. He had to stop singing, you know. And it is an amazing moment in time when you see someone that you've met along the way, and then you see them again, and you see that growth and how they've empowered, inspired, motivated, educated, given back, taken little, given back to the powers of the beef so that our young people can continue to do what they do. And that's who you became in my life, Mark. I greatly appreciate everything you instilled. He said, shake hands, Smitty, shake hands. He said, shake hands. You don't need a casting couch. You don't this and that. Just shake hands. If it's not for you, it's not for you. And keep it moving. And that's what I did. So here on my show, we don't say hats off to you. We have certain things that we say because I'm a diva. And people in my circle are divas too. And that's how we rock and roll. So what I need you to do is hold your hand up like this. This hand here. You know, both of them like that. Y'all see his hands? Yeah. So Mark, you're going to close your eyes. Yeah, and you're gonna trust me because I'm Minnie Fox, and you've known me forever. So we always say stilettos off to you, Mark. Open your eyes. Ooh, you got a stiletto.
Off.
Yeah, stilettos off. This is, hey, Mark got the stiletto. So we're gonna lean in for the Kodak moment. He's holding his stiletto. Jeez.
Stilettos off.
Yeah, Mark, this is one of your awards. Can you give us your acceptance speech for all the things you've done in your career as a model, an entrepreneur, an actor, a singer? Oh, you're an amazing father. Oh, you're an amazing husband. All the things that you have done. This is the stiletto off to Mark. Y'all look at that. Yeah, that's one of my stilettos. He can't keep it.
So, I want to thank...
Out your face.
I want to thank Minnie Fox and her wonderful show for this award. This presentation means the world to me. Without it, I don't know how much further I could go.
Oh my God.
So, kudos to me. I'm blessed forever for this wonderful award. Yes. Thank you, Minnie. And I want to thank the children and the wife and all of the family that has been my backbone and supported me for this amazing award. Stiletto, we win again.
You did a good job, Mark. I'm so proud of you. You know, the acting skills that you have, you can just do it on command. That's what we're talking about.
Thank you so much for having me.
You are welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been our show for today. Minnie Fox and the amazing, extraordinary Mark Ridley right here on the Minnie Fox Talk Show. We thank you for chiming in. You know how to find us. But Mark, how would they find you?
Oh my goodness, I'm all over social media. Mark Ridley. I'm not strange on things. Okay. Just Mark Ridley. Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter.
Ooh.
Also called X.
Twitter still shit. Twitter still. Okay, Twitter still live. But guess what? You're going to find him on YouTube as well because he's on the Minnie Fox Talk Show, and that's where we're going to put him. Mark, it's been amazing. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much, my
Enjoyed you immensely. And come back on the show anytime. You always have an open invitation.
Thank you. Many blessings to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, y'all. Y'all know what to do. We love you right here on the Minnie Fox Talk Show.